Where's the... Always takes me forever to start this thing. Where is my chat? I'm obviously missing something here. I've managed to completely get rid of my chat. So hang on, guys. I will make this work. Show chat. That just appeared finally. Hello, David. Let's try to make this thing pop up. And then I am good to go. Pop out chat. Finally, there you go. All right, that took way too long. Okay, so I don't know what that's about. So hopefully everything's working here. I'll put this over here, get rid of this. All right, so welcome. Not sure who's going to be here today, but we'll see what happens. I have a plan to draw something, but obviously I do take requests. So if you guys want me to do something specific, let me know. I'm here for an hour, so you got an hour of my time, and I'm out of here. So let's see. I'm going to add the image to this thing, which was downloads. Can you guys let me know if you hear me? If you can hear me? I'll type it up too because I can't. Awesome. Hi, Hannah. Okay, so that's one less thing to worry about. Okay, excellent. Thanks, David. Okay, so no worries about the caps. I don't care. All right, I guess I better start drawing. So, unless there's any requests, I'm going to start with this. So I gotta set my Cintiq here. Move this over here. And move these guys. It's gonna take a second here. I need to move my drawing tablet a little closer to myself. Hopefully not causing a disaster at the same time. That could possibly happen. Alright, now I'm all set. Okay, I can start drawing now. Okay, I'm gonna move this out of the way. And get to drawing. Sure. Just tell me something specific and I'll help you out. So what specifically would you like to know? Like, how about if I turn this one into a cartoon? How about we try that? Would that be fun? So like how I would cartoonify this particular drawing. I'm going to do this on a separate layer in case I need it. And nope, Control L. Alright. So first I'm just going to try and rough out what I have in mind for this. So I'm not sure how this is going to look yet. I'm not sure how cartoony or how realistic I want to do it. So I'm going to keep messing around until I have a shape that I like. I'm going to make the hair bigger. I know that. So I'm just looking for shapes. I'm erasing the stuff I don't like. A lot of people, when they draw the feet, they forget this part here, that this is not the same as here. It's more of like a wedge shape. Really take your time trying to figure that out, otherwise your feet will look like skis. Who knew a perspective showing up in a drawing? Again, I'm still roughing. I'm not really doing this all that seriously yet. Just trying to get a sense of the composition. Okay, so let's deal with the arms here. Do. You guys have a good weekend? There's something I like to do a lot is I'll try and figure out what's going on with the hand first. Once I figured out the hand, yeah, I had a great weekend. Then I can position the forearm in the right place. I get the right distance. Trying the hand first for me is usually useful. S123 rocks, good to know. Hi, I'm just letting you know I'm live streaming till 1. Okay? Everything okay? fair enough. Okay. So I'll play with this face shape here. I might just lift this up a bit for more of a fun silhouette. So I'll give that little gap. Oops. So now what I'm doing, I'm just trying to figure out what proportions I want to play with. Do I want to make her look like funny, ugly, or do I want to make her really cute and stuff? I'm just trying to sort out what I want to do with the shapes. So the first thing I'll put down is not necessarily the thing I'll end up with necessarily. Did you guys all come from a class, or do you guys have like not started your day yet? Yeah, I could go with that. The clothing is adding to that appeal. Okay, I gotta get my tool thing. I'm missing a toolbar. Alright, I'm just going to have to do the whole default layout thing. That's the one I want. There you go. Get to this thing. And I've lost my layers for now. Yeah, I'm happy with this so far. So should I paint this thing? Would that be a fun thing to do? Or do I just move on to another drawing? All right. So make sure I got all the details out of the way here. Alright, let's see where this takes us. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a quick little palette right about here of the colors, because I want to make sure that I don't stray too far. So the background is this color, skin, highlight, dark, hair color, highlight, and this stuff here, more or less the same color. And then her legs are doing this. I'm just putting a little quick idea of what the colors are here. Okay, so let's go with that. Okay, so I think I got enough to get going here. I'm tempted to switch programs because this will be faster for me to paint. I'm just going to save this thing, save as, and I will this is the 25th. Okay. Let's save this on pictures. Okay, I'm just going to open this up in another software I really like called Photoshop. I mean, Corel Painter. So I'll open that file up there. That was in pictures, live stream. All right. Oh, cool. All right, so this image is pretty small. So I might stretch these guys out a bit here if I can do it. I'll go with 200%. And I've lost everything. That's fun. Oh, it's rendering. Okay. I'm just going to get my move tool. Blast, did I just ruin it? Yeah, I ruined it. Okay, I'm just gonna, I'll leave it at this size, whatever. Let's paint over here. Okay, I'll make this so that this thing, we can see this again. Okay, so you guys should be able to see now. And I've got my layers again. I'm good to go. So start painting. Paint. And I'm going to zoom in on this thing. Okay. So I'm just going to start with my background. Just get that out of the way here. So pick like the colors. And I'm going to go use a big brush. Just going to kind of get the rough colors. Get out of the way. Not really caring about the character right now. I'm just painting in a quick background. Alright, so we got that out of the way. I'm going to try and get like this really pointy type stuff. So I have this, I don't know if this is going to work. I'm going to try and experiment here. In my airbrushes, I have one option that's like really ridiculously like this kind of stuff. I just don't know how that's going to translate. Because I'm going from behind to the top. It's easier for me to correct the character or the background separately. So I'm going to separate the layers later on. Yeah, I'm not liking this look, so I'm going to try something else here. Maybe under artist favorites. I'm going to use these. Let me try this thing here. Yeah, that's better. I was trying to get those dotty kind of shapes in here. Oh, I misread that thing. You said that why black and white, and if there's color, it's just you want to get your values done first. So if you can get your values under control, then it's easier for the artist to just deal with color. You're separating the contrast versus the value. Because if you just add random colors, what will happen is your colors are going to feel off, and you don't know why. How can I explain this? Let me just show you one thing really quickly here. I'll just do this in a separate layer and then come back. So if I pick this color here with, can I put this in here? Yeah, let's put this in here so it's easier for later. So if I just take this, I'll pick this color here and I do this, and then I pick a red like that, okay? So one of them will feel darker than the other one in your opinion. But in reality, if I actually take these two colors and desaturate them, so turn them into black and white, so that is adjust colors. So if I take, I'll reset this there. There you go. These are the natural colors I picked. If I bring the saturation down to nothing, see the colors are identical. And because of that, I've picked the wrong colors to add contrast to my picture. So the goal there is to get your contrasts to be strong. In black and white, you can really tell what is what. So if I want to have something darker, I would pick a darker color for this, like this. Still feels kind of the same. And then if I use my effects and adjust my colors again and bring down my saturation, now it's very clear that I've got two different colors. That's why artists start black and white. Okay, I'll go back to, guess where I say that little thing. I'll have to go back last. Okay. Okay, so this is where I'm painting. So I'm doing the color pick really fast here, picking what the colors I laid out already, and I'm just adding that kind of impressionistic background. I know this is darker, so I'll make this part darker. this out of the way so I can get the background done here. Sorry that it takes forever to make it look right, so I'm just taking my time here. Almost done. Just going to lighten this up a bit here. And I'm going to darken this area here. Okay. That's good enough. Okay, so now I'm going to separate the dock, I guess, next. So, saving. So I'll put dock. Probably a good time to save here so I don't mess up. Okay, there's nothing worse than something when it crashes. So I'm going to switch brushes here, so I'll go back to this painterly thing. And right now I'm just going to worry about the dock. And I'm not necessarily painting in an even tone. I'm trying to get this kind of, to make it look like it's got different shades. So by pressing less, it's making it like a see-through opacity, transparency, so that I can give it some variety. It's getting darker once we get to here, so I'm just going to switch it up a bit. Close to the background tone. I'll sneak in this a little bit lighter. So I'm drawing super light. Okay, so my cutoff, I'm just trying to imagine I'm going to cut this off roughly here. So I got to keep going a bit here. And I'm seeing one place where there's like a predominantly black outline, so I'm going to make that happen maybe right about here. Maybe another one here. So I'm not going super precise here, I'm just interpreting what I'm seeing, but close enough. Then I'm going to use a darker gray. I'm going to start zooming in a bit here, so I'm going to try it. So now I'm going to have to start dealing with these edges a bit. So it's going to become a little more important that I'm precise. A little darker. How dark does this get? Not that dark, okay. So I'm not done with this, but it's a start. Seems to be getting lighter once we're here, so I'm just going to overlay some lighter tones. Okay. And I'm noticing here that it's a little bit darker, so underneath what I'm going to do is, I'm going to keep this in a separate layer in case I need to mess with it. I'm going to go back to my airbrushes, and I'm going to go with the pure black, and now all I'm going to do here is just add, not sprinkle, but more like a digital airbrush. It's not grainy. And I'm just going to add a little bit of a tone underneath here just to darken that spot. Like that. And then if I'm not happy with it, I can like lighten it up a bit. Okay, and I don't want this to affect the colors of the dock because I drew it transparently, so I'm just going to erase a little bit here. Just add some contrast. There we go. So with everything gone, it looks like this here. I just added this little spot like that, just to darken things up. Okay, so dock is done for now. I'm going to start dealing with the woman. Okay, so I'm going to go for the big colors. I think that was the leg, if I remember. What I'm going to do first, actually, before I go too crazy here, I'm just going to spend a bit of time. I'm just going to isolate the woman with a different color. So I'm not going to worry about the color at all. I'm just going to kind of paint her in really quickly. In this case, I'm going to use a more precise of a tool. So what I want to do here is separate her completely. This is not going to be the correct color. It's just going to be kind of a way for me to see the edges a bit more. And I can use the preserve transparency later that when I'm painting to not have to worry about if I'm going over the lines or not. So I'm just going to try and get rid of this. Almost done. I think we're pretty close, so I'm just going to mess with the eraser for a little bit here to tighten up the parts where I kind of messed up. And I'm just going to double check to make sure that I didn't omit a chunk somewhere, because that can happen. Okay, so I think we're good. So this is going to look a little weird, but this helps me to see things. So I'm just going to create a new layer and make this like kind of like an annoying color here. Edit, fill. Okay, it just helps me to see if I missed the spot, like right there. For example, I kind of messed up. So I'm just gonna, oops, not use the eraser. I just want to kind of tighten up the lines. So it's nice and crisp. Might even be useful to get rid of her. There you go, so you see even more. Hello. Okay, I think I'm done this chunk. So far so good. So what you'll find I like to do a lot is just skip from one thing to the next. I get bored when I paint, so I'll tackle one element and then go back and tackle that later. So now what I'm worried about is can I make this look a little stronger? So I'll try to add more edges. So what I was hinting at before, I'm starting to make it more specific. And then I'm going to start to sneak in my like highlight edges at the same time. Pick a pencil, that'll be better. Just want to hint at it. I don't want to spend a ton of time on this background because that's not the focal point. Okay, might just add a bit of a highlight over here, a little bit lighter. Just make that pop out. Oops. This part here needs a little bit more definition. Okay, I feel like I'm looking at the background and I feel like I messed up on this section, so I was going to go back to my artistic brush that I had going. I'm just going to kind of polish off underneath. So see, I'm going underneath that layer and just finishing off a chunk that I noticed that I didn't do. Okay, I'm going to lightly erase the overlap. I think we're good. All right, now I've kind of dabbled with the two. I might still be like erasing stuff like on the dock here. There's some elements that I don't like, so I would kind of erase those chunks and maybe make this one stick out a little more, that kind of thing. So I'll play with that a little bit later. But it's set up now that I can actually go from one to the next. Okay, so go back to the woman. So let's type in woman here so I can remember where to go, because that happens where I paint on the wrong layer and then I get angry. So we don't want to see that today. All right, so we got the woman. We'll lock that in, and then I'm just going to try and, now I'm going to, you have the same thing in Photoshop. You can go and do a preserve transparency. So this is the button here for Painter, same deal. So all I'm going to do here is now I can actually do this and paint across. Oh, that's the eraser. Hang on, edit, undo. I can pick a color and I can, oops, did I mess up here? Woman. Oh, I turned it off. So now I can paint, and it just paints inside the shape. And that's a good thing for what I'm about to do next, because I got my edges pretty much where I want them. I can still tweak them later, but now I just want to have, like, you know, a nice control over the shapes. So what I'll do first is I'll just, with the pencil brush, I'm just going to lightly put in the major colors, and I can kind of go darker with more pressure. And then over here I want this to lighten up. I still want to leave that really cool highlight here, so I think it's pretty much what's already there, so I'll still leave that in. So just like in life drawing, you're looking for shapes as you're drawing. I'm looking for the shape of that particular color. Like, where's the darkest spot? And what does that shape look like? And how do I reinterpret it now to make it look like a little bit more cartoony? Okay, a bit of color here. So I'm more worried about the kind of like the overall big shapes. I'll have to make another pass and worry about, you know, how is this going to look with the final results, like where's the final details and all that stuff. So I'm more worried about the bigger picture stuff right now. It's not going to be super precise. I can, oops, okay, so this is the part that I'm doing this with. Okay, I'll fix that little chunk. So right now I'm just worrying about the shape. This is probably where I want her back here, so I can see what's going on. So it's working my way up. Okay, so far so good. I'll worry about the hand. Okay, that color. Something different. This one is going to be tricky because it's got a little white highlight halo thingy going on, so I'll have to deal with that later. Hopefully not forget. And this has got a nice gradient here. I'll have to deal with that too a little later. Let's see, like that looks white, but if you'll notice, it's not 100% white. So this is the color, oops, can't see it. This is the color that's being picked, and this is pure white. So I still have room to add highlights. That's important. So I'm going to take the overall color first, and it's pretty much the color that I had selected. So that's convenient. So that'll allow me to add little shadows and stuff and highlights a little later on. So I'm going to leave all that be, and then I just want to see what the color is for the skin overall. So I'll sneak that in. Like that, and I do know like that this is going to get lighter here, and it's going to be this part, the eye over the eyelid, it's going to be darker. Start worrying about the hair. So one thing this guy, Drew Struzan, said that kind of I liked, what he said is that with every pass, you want to make it look like it's finished. So you want your drawing to feel like you've made all the decisions, that you're not altering too much. And when you start painting, if you were, let's say I probably won't do color for today, but because I'm going to run out of time really soon, got 15 minutes. If I were to do color, I would make the black and white as solid as I possibly could, and then move on to the details and make that as final as much as I can. So if you treat each section like it's a finished piece, or each pass, you end up with a stronger drawing. Okay, just like a little hint of the highlights. I'm going to try to separate the colors here. And then once we get to here, I think it gets darker. Yeah, a little bit. So I'll sneak that in. Let's see without the outline, what does that look like? So that's all I've done so far, not a whole lot. Okay, so next I guess I'm going to start to sculpt out the actual highlights and stuff. So I'm going to take this color, it's going to bring it up a bit, and I'm going with the pencil brush, I'm just going to sneak in a little bit more of a highlight, start to sculpt out what's going on with this shape here. A little highlight in the back, and then it gets really dark over here. This part here is a little darker. So the reason why I like Painter is because of this tool here. It's called Just Add Water. It's a very, very nice blender tool. I prefer it over Photoshop. It's really good at making flesh look fleshy and doing really intricate gradients. Okay, what do I want to do next? Just going to blend this stuff a little bit here. Okay, so at this stage, what I would do, and again, I don't think I'll have enough time, so I'm down to 12 minutes, but what I would start to do is to get rid of the outline like this, and start adding more intricate details. So I'll zoom in on the foot a bit. And what I want to do next is to really kind of slow things down and blend all this stuff properly. Sticking in some toes. I'm going to remove the preserve transparency for a second. I just want to fix this line here. And put it back on so I can blend without going over the lines. I want to make this a little bit brighter. Oops. I'm seeing little tiny creases here, so I'm going to try and mimic that with little lines. And this gets really dark here, so I have to mess with bringing that back in. And I have to blend. Okay, so I'm just going to disable the transparency again, just going to get a nice smooth line here. And I'm not liking how this turned out here, so I'm just going to try and put it back. And I will go back to the eraser, and I want to get that sharper corner. Like that. Okay. Preserve transparency back on. Okay, so I'm just going to keep blending. I'll leave this somewhat impressionistic here so I can get to the other stuff. Okay. Alright, so I'll deal with the drapery now. So I think these are darker, so I'll start messing with those. This a little bit lighter here. Okay, so I want to try and make this look a little whiter. Use the pencil this time. Okay. Start to blend. Okay. hint at the hair here without drawing every strand. I'm just going to make the highlights poke out. I'm just going to add some strands of hair to make it feel more natural here. the airbrush. Add little tiny highlight strands next. So this is like a very small pixel size, just to try and make the hair look more like hair. So I didn't draw all the hair, I didn't spend a whole lot of time drawing it, but just because I'm adding these little highlights, the mind makes up the rest, so it speeds up the process quite a bit. For you guys to know that that's hair. This is basically all the time I have to do this. I might continue for a little bit longer there, but not much. Just want to finish off the hand maybe. Yeah, I'm liking where this is going. Okay, I'm just gonna go a little long today and just kind of finish this off, but I gotta have lunch at some point. What do you guys think? Is this working out? Do you guys get some tips out of this? So just gonna do this. Oops, that helps if this preserve transparency is not there. Fill. I'm just going to mess with some dodge and burn. I don't usually like using those, but I'm running out of time here. So I want to burn. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Just to really push these things. I'm not liking that. Okay. Well, there you go, guys. That's what we did today. I still would want to tweak this a whole lot, but I'm going to stop because I'm already over my time. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and I will see you next time. Okay, so I'm going to save this thing. I'll post it on our group, and we'll go from there. So one thing I guess I should probably mention is I'm going to leave the source material on for this one, so it's really clear that I'm doing a study. I'm not, copying this thing and saying, hey, I invented this pose, I invented this character. This is clearly from, studying something in life, so or studying someone else's art, which in this case is photography. So if you were to do something like this, I would leave the source so that people can see that, oh, this guy is giving proper credit. It's really important. Okay, so I guess this will be it. I don't know if there's any questions before I go or anything there, because I'm about to call this off. So last chance for questions or whatever. Why is this not working? Yeah, you too, Sarah. Thanks for coming in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. See you later, Hannah. Yeah, I think this is as good as it's going to get. So there you go, guys. All right, thank you very much, and I'll see you guys tomorrow or Wednesday at the next class. So thanks for hanging out with me. We'll do this again next week unless something comes up. All right, thanks, guys. See you later.